What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745. And in this video we're going to take a look at the Lantern of Doom and I'll tell you whether or not it's worth buying. I just noticed this item went on sale, and it says for 25% off, though I don't know how exactly they come up with that percentage. Typically these more expensive items I almost feel bad about even reviewing. It just seems like too much. But it is on sale for 96 gold. So what we're going to do in this video is, of course I'm going to give you my opinions, as well as my recommendation on buying or passing. But in order to get to that, let's see what it does first and check it out in action. The very first thing you'll notice is it gives you Warding Essence. Prevents debuffs on allies for the first round of combat. So that's right, it's going to prevent debuffs on your entire team for that first round. The only things that are going to get around that are Pestilence Beast, the Ailing AISO or some sort of endemic, the Scroll of Rudimroth, and then the Blackest Void can remove it. Just to name a few. But it will prevent a lot. It will especially help against a quick-hitting team that maybe utilizes Spitfire. And while the Mystic is nice, it's really like a super version of the Mystic, because it does so much more. I like being able to shut down technology attacks, don't get me wrong, but this thing, well, let's take a look at everything it does. First off, if you've been watching my videos, you know I use it all the time. So here it is in my PvP setup, and it's actually in my can't remove slot right now. So that final slot is pretty much a permanent placement. As for its first ability, the first one that you can use right away, it happens to be my favorite. It's a debuff magic, AoE, called Smothering Shadow. First of all, it's subtle, so it does not trigger most status effects. Then it's going to cause Bane, so taking additional damage from magic attacks and effects. Make special note of the effects part, because here comes a 60% chance for 3 powerful dots: Death Frost, Dark Void, and Soulfire. What ends up happening is these dots tick away a ton of health every turn, and the enemies pretty much cannot avoid this. Then for its second function it has Alluring Light, an AoE buff magic that's also subtle and grants Terasing Boost, so restores a small amount of health every turn, and Shield of Seraphim. This shield actually absorbs quite a bit of damage, so you get that heal effect and a shield. Once again, for me, not as great as Smothering Shadow, but it will come in very handy. It gives you an additional heal, and of course that powerful shield. Next we gain access to Inevitable Doom, an AoE debuff magic, also subtle, and it causes Doom. Removes a large amount of health when removed by duration or removal effects. It also removes and prevents resurrection effects, but it is removed by resting, which the AI will almost never do, so you don't have to worry about that. Doom is just a nice little added bonus, especially if you think the enemy team is going to try to remove their debuffs. It'll hit for a nice amount of damage, but the thing I may like most about this is it prevents and removes res effects. Pretty powerful stuff. Finally, we gain Sealed Safeguard. Subtle, and it has the Curse of the Doom Lantern. Removes beneficial status effects from all enemies. Plus it provides magic warding. With the changes to magic warding, this isn't nearly as great. But to be honest with you, I rarely ever make it to this function anyways, so we don't typically use it. Now if you're still wondering if this thing is as good as advertised, we actually aren't done yet. There's one more very important factor when it comes to the Lantern of Doom. By the way, this is the very first enemy team they gave us. But anyways, what you're going to notice is Warding Essence, of course. And then we have Sacred. We have that because of the Sacred EISO. You can also gain it from the Oni Breaker. Then look on down on that right side and you'll see Unholy Swiftness. Sacred or Unholy Power, so you could also give yourself Unholy, and this will work. But Sacred or Unholy Power will hasten the actions of the Lantern of Doom. In other words, it makes all those functions a quick action. This includes that super overpowered Smothering Shadow, the Heal and Shield, Inevitable Doom, and Sealed Safeguard. They all become quick actions. That honestly makes all the difference in the world. That takes us from being a very good weapon to an absolute must-have. And that's right, I'm calling this a must-have item. If you can afford it, you should most definitely get it. And by the way, besides showing off the incredibleness of the Lantern of Doom, we're also kinda showing you Cloak and Dagger and Blue Marvel, because I figured you'd want to see both of these heroes as well. And since I decided on making this video once I saw the item on sale, I still wanted to bring you these characters in action. This team is going to be in Blue Marvel's All Hail the King episode as well, but while they're still great, and I definitely will be using them some, the nerf or the starting cooldown to Shot in the Dark does hurt them a bit. That was one of the big attacks that we were relying on. An early AoE Shot in the Dark to decimate the enemy team. And I guess Playdom thought that was a bit much. So I guess instead we're going to be using Pitch Black early on, which actually should work out really well. As you saw, we put that Bane on everyone, and most of them got quite a few of those magic dots as well. So first of all, you're going to be watching that health tick right away. And against some teams, this really knocks out a ton of HP. This team is a little bit more resilient than most to it, but it's still going to hurt them a lot. And so will these Bright Blades preemptive counters. Unfortunately, they are going to use the Fire Tornado, and then after that, they're going to take another Bright Blades, and Blue Marvel gains an antimatter charge. But the agent uses the Spirit Blade on us. That's a pretty sweet weapon, and we actually kind of forgot about it. So I may pull that out myself. But as this match isn't going to go too much longer, I do just want to go over the importance of having the Lantern of Doom once again. First of all, I've been using it in PvP and PvE pretty much non-stop. It's great for both, especially if you have one of these E3 costumes and can easily slot in the Sacred E-ISO. Then there's no reason to not use its effects as a quick action. First of all, that Warding Essence is going to come in handy against so many different teams. Yes, turn order is going to play a role, but you're probably going to prevent debuffs most of the time, at least for a few actions, and that can make a huge difference. Then the Smothering Shadow is probably my favorite function just about on anything right now. Bane and those magic dots are going to really take away the damage. It almost lets you sit back and just watch them die. On top of that, it's kind of a setup move, as you saw Cloak and Dagger do some major damage themselves. The Atom Smasher is another great combo with it. So just keep all of this in mind. I definitely recommend this. Maybe more than I have anything else. Certainly outside the cube. I give this item 2 thumbs up. So if you can get it, you definitely should. That's going to be it for this review. I really hope it helped, and I want to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.